when you factorize a quadratic, you're taking this entire expression and representing it in two brackets. This is represented in the form as ax squared plus bx plus c, where the x terms are the variables and the letters are what are called the coefficients, or just numbers. The first thing that you do is you multiply whatever the c term is with the a term. So in this equation, it is 1. So 6 times 1 is 6. And you would need to find out what all the factors of 6 are. So 1 times 6 equals 6, minus 1 times minus 6 equals 6, 2 times 3 equals 6, and minus 2 times minus 3 is 6. You won't need to do this entire tree for every single factorization, but for the first time, it's good to just lay them all out so you know what you're doing. Eventually, once you get good at it, you won't need to do this. You'll be able to see what the next steps are. Put a plus sign in between everything and then add them up. So 1 plus 6 is 7, minus 1 minus 6 is minus 7, 2 plus 3 is 5, minus 2 minus 3 is minus 5. So you're going to look down here and see which number is equal to the b term. So this is plus 5, so positive 5. So the one we're looking for is 2 plus 3, which equals 5. You can now rewrite this expression as x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. You now break this up into two parts. So let's take this part and this part. Just looking at this first part, let's factorize it. So x is the common term in both parts, so we can pull that out and you'll get x plus 2. Whatever is inside these brackets, replicate it again and place it here. So x plus 2. And now look at the second part. What do you need to put outside the brackets when multiplied in will equal 3x plus 6? It's going to be plus 3. Because if I do 3 times x, it's 3x, 3 times 2, which is 6. You now take everything that is inside the brackets, which should be the same, and place it once here. You take everything that is outside the brackets and you place it once here. This is the factorization of this expression. Let's do it again. So similar to the last question, we will take the number that is by itself and multiply it to the number before the variable. That's 1 times minus 18. So therefore, we have minus 18. We now have to carefully pick out all the factors. We'll have 18, minus 18 and 1, minus 1 and 18, 2 and minus 9, minus 2 and 9, 3 and minus 6, or minus 3 and 6. So then if we put a little addition in between them all and we add them all up, you'll get minus 17, 17, minus 7, 7, minus 3, and then 3. So as you can see, this pair here is the same, minus 3, as we want here. So we can take 3 and minus 6 as our n values. So n squared positive 3n minus 6n minus 18. We now just look at these two first values and we will now factorize them. N plus 3, and we repeat what we have written, n plus 3. And now what do we need to put outside that once multiplied in would equal minus 6n and minus 18? It would be minus 6. Minus 6 times n is minus 6n. Minus 6 times 3 is minus 18. We take everything that is inside the brackets and write it once here. And we take everything outside the brackets and we write it here. So we have successfully factorized n squared minus 3n minus 18. In this question, we don't have 1 at the beginning. So we'll have 2 times 2, which is going to be 4. And what are all the factors of 4? You're going to have 4 times 1 is 4, minus 1 times minus 4, 2 times 2, and minus 2 and minus 2. Let's put an addition in between them all. So you're going to get 5. 1 minus 4 is minus 5. That's going to be 4, and that's going to be minus 4. So obviously the one that we're looking for is this one here, 4 plus 1. So you can break that up as 2x squared plus 4x plus x plus 2. As you do this more, you won't need to do this as much. You should be able to do this in your head. You'll be able to multiply them together and then be able to realize that 4 times 1 and 4 plus 1 is the ones that you want because it equals 5. And then also sometimes you might place these in the wrong position. You should be able to start noticing that sometimes it will be easier to factorize if it's the other way around. However, it won't make much of a difference. So let's now factorize these first two terms. You're going to get 2x that can come out, and you're going to get x inside plus 2. Let's repeat it again, x plus 2. What needs to be on the outside for this to be x plus 2 and x plus 2? It's just 1. So now we take everything that is inside the brackets and we will put x plus 2, everything outside the brackets, 2x plus 1. Here is our last problem. So this time we've got a minus 12 and a 3. So let's now multiply minus 12 and 3. So you're going to get minus 36. And then we can write down all the factors. You're going to get 1 and 36, minus 1 and 36, minus 36, 2 and minus 18, and minus 2 and 18. We can now add these all up together. And I'm not going to bother doing all the factors because it now should be apparent that you can see what once added together will equal the right value that you're looking for. So this is going to be minus 35. This is going to be 35. This is going to be minus 16. And this is going to be 16. So this is the pair that we're looking for. So now if we write 3y squared plus 2y and we do minus 18y minus 12, we can then factorize these individually. So let's first take the first two parts and we can see that y is the only factor here. So you can pull that out. Then you repeat it again and you look and see what two values here do I need to put outside here to make them up, which is going to be a minus 6, because once minus 6 times by 3y and minus 6 times 2, that's going to be minus 12, and that's going to be minus 18y. We then take these and put them together, 3y plus 2. Everything outside the brackets would be y minus 6.